time was not good memories for me because it's nothing like it is today. Today we have a lot of visual stuff on television. There you just used your imagination and you lived for the letters that would come every day practically. I'd get a letter and the mailman knew I was waiting for him. He'd ring the doorbell for me and I'd come down and he'd hand me the mail. And those were happy. And I'd get a lot of mail from Dad, but a lot of times quite a bit of it was cut out because if he was talking about any places that he was at, it was be given the enemy information, so they would cut that out so you'd have a letter that looked like.
They were censored.
Censored, yes.
Ma sent me a picture of her in a bathing suit. So naturally I showed all the guys. And so I don't know where in the heck we were at the time, but I was taking a nap. And one of the guys woke me up. He said, "Hey, the lieutenant wants to see the picture of your wife." And so I whipped out the picture and I gave it to him. And I said, "Hey, bring that back here. That son of a gun will cut the bathing suit off of her," I said. Every time we were in the house, we would set the machine gun, we would mount the machine gun in a window. So, in other words, we were firing out the window. So one night I was in guard, and we were in a small town, and I see two German soldiers with their rifles slung over their back, riding bicycles, approaching the house that I was in. So I jumped out the window with my .45, and I stopped them, and I hollered, and some guys came running out of the house. So we took the rifles from these guys, and naturally they didn't put up any resistance at all. And the one rifle I was able to send home for a souvenir. The sad part of it is Ma didn't let me keep it, so I wish she had. But anyhow, I was able somehow or another I was able to make a box and ship it home, which was fine. The other rifle, one of the guys broke it apart over a tree. I remember that. We were approaching Berlin. Eisenhower and Stalin had a meeting, and they decided that the American troops would advance to within 45 miles of Berlin, right up to the Moselle River. So I think we were up there a couple of days, and I'll be doggone, one night the Germans counterattacked us, and for some reason or another, I don't know why, from where my gun was mounted, and the building we were that we stayed in, wasn't too far apart. I walked up to the building where we stayed in, and I heard a German voice, "Come see out, Americanos, you are surrounded." And never did see the guy. And fortunately, he didn't see me either. So anyhow, I went back to where my machine gun was mounted, and I heard some German voices. Not too far. So anyhow, I shot in that direction for a while. That was an unusual circumstance. Then I had my .45 laying right next to the machine gun in case somebody tried to sneak up on me, but it didn't happen. When we are on attack, you have part of the machine gun on your back. If you're the machine gunner, you had the tripod. If you're the assistant machine gunner, you had the the receiver, and you just follow single file. And but this one time, somebody decided that we were going to ride tanks. So we had our machine guns up on the top of the tank, and I don't know how far we proceeded. And I'll be a son of a gun, we came under enemy fire. You could see the tanks in front of us whip around and start shooting. And you don't want to be on a tank when it's firing, and certainly you don't want to be on a tank when it's under fire. So I hit the ground running. I just took off. Got my machine gun back that night sometime. That was a excuse me. That was a stupid thing, and we never rode tanks again. In every squad, there's a gunner and an assistant gunner, and 6 or 7 ammunition bearers. And I won't say I worked my way up. I survived to be the machine gunner, and didn't take long either. So toward the end, I got promoted, and the good part about that is you got a little more money, you know. Then I was by the time I got discharged, I was promoted to staff sergeant, and I had been when I was corporal and a buck sergeant. Then I had to give instructions and help in the training of other men. So that helped. We were going to be transferred over to the China-Burma India Theater, which meant fight Japan. And at that time, I had enough of fighting. So fortunately, they dropped the atom bombs in Japan. So then that ended the fighting over there. So then they decided to ship us home. And we took the Queen Mary home, which was great. Anyhow, it was very interesting crossing the English Channel. They had Navy naturally in charge of the ship or tug or whatever it was we were on, and they saw a floating mine in the water, so they started shooting at it with a machine gun, and we had no idea who was firing a machine gun. So what do? We hit the deck, of course, by instinct.
Two broken tigers on fire in the night flicker their souls to the wind. We're waiting the lines for the final approach to begin. It's been almost 4 years that I've carried a gun. At home it'll almost be spring. The flames of the tigers are lighting the road to Berlin. Quickly we move through the ruins that bow to the ground. The old men and children they send out to face us, they can't slow us down. I know that I ever was able to see. The eyes of the city are opening now, it's the end of the dream. crossed over the border the hour before dawn, moving in lines through the day. Most of our planes were destroyed on the ground where they lay. Softly we move through the shadows, slip away through the trees, crossing their lines in the mists and the fields, on our hands and our knees. And now that I ever was able to see the fire in the air, glowing red, silhouetting the smoke on the breeze.